Wow, it's all spades. Nut flush for Newey, second nut flush for Reese.
Daniel's on the business end of yet another cooler.
That's kind of an ugly river.
I shall not fight against you. I give up.
Blinds are now 1,500 and 3,000 with a 400 ante. At the main feature table, Ryan Reese is facing a raise from Tobias Reinkemeyer. King-Queen suited for Ryan. And he calls. Newey calls as well. This is a three-way party. Reinkemeyer ahead for now with pocket tens. Wow, it's all spades. Nut flush for Newey, second nut flush for Reese, an overpair, and a flush draw of his own for Reinkemeyer.
I haven't seen a deck this cold since EPT Siberia.
Action checked around to Reese.
Ryan Reese is going to get a lot of hate if he goes broke here, but honestly, there is nothing this kid can do. Cabs are here.
He bets 11,000. He just calls.
I forgot all about Tobias. Big pair, big spade, little chips. He could be in some real trouble here.
All in.
Reinkemeyer shoves. All in for 69,200.
Michael.
Ryan Reese calls for most of his chips.
Give him a second to disregard that he could be losing the 4-7 of spades. And
He puts Reese all in.
Michael.
And Reese calls.
not only is Reese going broke, but he's going to get lambasted over social media. And fairly unjustly, too, I would say.
Good luck, guys.
Reese drawing dead. Reinkemeyer needing running cards. There's a slim chance of a split pot.
Let's do this. Come on. 7 of spades is okay. Give us a sweat.
I take both, like, just...
The turn card is the Queen of Diamonds. It's over.
A good card.
Double elimination.
Ryan Reese, we hardly knew ye.
And Daniel is in from the big blind with King Queen of Diamonds. Buddiga flops best. Top.
Total airball for Negreanu.
Oh, he leads. 12K.
And Pratyush has got the exact kind of hand Daniel's trying to get to fold.
He calls.
And Hockman's too.
He's got top pair with a worse kicker than Pratyush.
Okay, no folds.
Yeah, still three-way as we go to the turn.
Daniel's trying to dine out on his little cards rep.
Well, this is interesting. Both Negreanu and Buddiga pick up flush draws.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick card.
Daniel slows down. He checks. Buddiga checks as well. Someone needs to tell him that construction of the Death Star is back on schedule. Hockman bets 21.5K.
Daniel's actually got enough equity now that he can call this bet.
He does call.
This is amazing. Everyone's hanging around to the bitter end like this pot is the last single girl at a party.
Pratyush calls, and we are still three-way as we go to the river. And that is a bad card for Daniel.
What was that card? Check.
He's rivered the second nut flush, but Pratyush Buddiga has nut diamonds.
Daniel's on the business end of yet another cooler. And unfortunately, he is anxiously awaiting this bet.
70,000. Hockman's folding.
I thought you were going to fold tens on the turn. This is a really hard decision. I'm going to need time. 70,000, huh?
That's half of Daniel's stack.
Ace-4 of diamonds?
That's pretty spooky.
Freakishly close.
This is the toughest decision I've had the whole tournament. Okay, give me a minute.
He does call and loses a huge pot.
That is frustrating.
Take it. Damn. That's kind of an ugly river.
Uglier than Ugly Betty.
You're real sick if you were thinking about folding.
Action on Joel Micker. Ace-Queen in the hijack. Raises to 105,000. Kings for Ryan Fair.
This could be it, kids.
He makes it 255,000. Folded back around to Micker.
And as deep as they are, it doesn't have to all go in before the flop.
Micker just calls.
And he is out of position.
The flop is all hearts.
Now it's going in.
I have the light right in my eye, and I can't see the flops.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Seriously?
This light is right in my eye.
Somebody get him his space glasses.
All right.
Micker checks.
Somebody at least read him the flop. He's betting dark.
Fair bets 325,000.
I'm guessing this is where it all goes in the middle. A lot of players aren't going to call out of that stack size.
Micker does call.
Interesting.
9 of spades on the turn.
Especially since you can brick the turn, and then what do you do?
While Micker checks a second time. And Ryan Fair checks behind.
Wow, got a free card on the river, and he got there.
It's a heart. The nut flush for Mika. The second nut flush for Fair. Mika checks it.
Fair's gonna let him check raise.
Fair walks straight into the trap, betting 450,000.
I think when Mika does check raise here, though, his hand is gonna be fairly face up.
Watch as the jaws of the trap spring shut. 1.1 million.
This is either always the sickest bluff ever or the nuts. And on the final table bubble, I lean toward nuts. Then again, I think Ryan Fair is also leaning toward nuts, but more like the crazy kind, not the good kind like you want. I also think I probably would have bet more if I were Mika. I think the min raise almost looks stronger, and maybe Fair will sense that.
Fair calls and loses a huge pot to Joel Mika.
Sort of a cold deck, sort of a bad call, really bad timing.
Fedor halts with ace-jack.
This kid's earned just under $20 million in his career, and by the way, he's also retired, apparently.
He raises to 225,000 and folded around to the big blind, Ahadpur Kanga.
Oh man, it's domination nation for the Azerbaijani amateur.
Kanga defends, heads up to the flop. All hearts, both players with a flush draw, halts with the nut flush draw.
Terrible spot for Kanga since his hand would be good here a lot.
Action check to the pre-flop aggressor. Fedor continuing for 200,000.
And Kanga's got just 20 big blinds behind. He is quickly approaching the danger zone.
He calls the c-bet. The turn card is the Queen of Hearts. This could spell doom for Kanga.
This queen is dangerous and sort of puts Kanga in a zone. I don't know, maybe the danger zone?
Okay, we get it. Halts with the nuts. Checks back.
Ooh, surprised to see a check back.
Fifth heart on the board.
I think Fedor is trying to induce a bad bluff from the good amateur.
Kanga checks for a third time.
I think if Fedor knew Kanga's exact hand, he probably would have double-barreled this, but he's going for the single river big barrel.
Huge bet, 1.4 million. Into a pot of less than $1 million.
Basically puts Kanga all in. He either folds and he's left with like 17 and a half bigs, or he can stick it all in and go broke.
Another day. You have the ace.
Good read.
Fedor holds cannot be stopped. Oh wait, except by a crazy amateur from Azerbaijan.
Good play.
Thanks.
Very impressed with that fold. Yeah, I just got handed a release from his PR firm saying we're now to call him OG Kousis, and then he's got an album dropping in the spring.
OG is raising from under the gun with ace-queen. Ace-king for Ludovic Geilich.
When you're the most aggressive guy at the table, you should really be 3-betting this, but against a guy with a perceived tight image and almost as many chips as you, just calling is fine too.
Geilich does just call in position. Kozlov calls as well with 8-7 in the big blind. Three-way to the flop, which is all diamonds, jack high.
Check.
Everyone's got a diamond. 2 of them are big, but only one of those people is a Geilich.
Action's been checked too, Ludo. He bets 98,000, gets a fold from Kozlov.
Karakusis not folding.
He calls with the nut flush draw. Brick on the turn. Karakusis checks a second time. Ludo bets again. 236,000.
2 barrels now. Weird. I know he's semi-bluffing, but it sort of goes against his pre-flop slow play. Pre-flop low variance, post-flop high variance with a hand that's got a lot of showdown value.
Once again, Karakusis calls.
Karakusis is playing it perfectly, which, to be fair, is mostly to Ludo's credit.
It's a diamond on the river. That's the nuts for Karakusis and the second nuts for Ludo. Action's been checked to Geilich again.
Sweet check by Karakusis. Ludo gonna do what Ludo do.
He bets the better part of $500,000.
Karakusis just making sure there's no straight flush out there.
All in.
He shoves. He check raises all in.
I love Karakusis' line till that moment. I think a smaller raise gets paid, a shove probably never.
Tough to fold the second nuts. He does fold.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice one.
Great lay down by Ludovic Geilich.
On the flop, I thought he was going to pass, and I said to myself, he done something, and he called, and I went, I think he's flopped it. I went and said to myself, but I'm not sure.